Greetings, this is the Timeshare Traveler. Today is episode 8280. Cost to stay in Southern California coast for 4 weeks. Kind of the overview, this is a month of ocean walks as far as I'm concerned, and without having to necessarily take a flight to Hawaii, so it could possibly be a great driving vacation. And honestly, the month in San Diego and LA would just be fun. It's pretty exciting to me. I got multiple housing options that I'll explore with you, whether you own timeshares or not. So this works whether one way or the other. I'll talk about other ways that I would do it to do some savings and why people don't do this. I'm not sure why because I'm pretty excited by this video. Anyway, let me jump right in. About a month in San Diego LA would be fun. Month in San Diego, LA would be fun. To me, it's kind of a beach vacation without necessarily a long flight to Hawaii. So, maybe it's not quite as warm as Hawaii, but maybe the snorkeling's not as good. But I like this, explore this area. It's a fun place. Southern California's a popular destination for shows, food, golf, other adult fun. Lots of walking along the beach. There's multiple places you can stay, concerts and artists, all kinds of stuff going on. Um, you know, it's even just fun to watch the people. So, day trips, you've got the San Diego museums, you've got the Los Angeles museums. More specifically, you've got Disneyland, SeaWorld, the San Diego Zoo, Legoland, and so much more. I probably have forgotten a bunch of stuff. So I just think there's a whole lot of stuff to do to take advantage of, and I would be all for it. And why not do it in a month so you can see it all and enjoy living there? Okay, now I want to talk about you got housing options, a lot of them actually. So first of all, if you don't own a timeshare, you can still do I think it's a good deal. I looked at Airbnb in the summer. I think I was looking at June. It might be a little more some in July and August, but it's $3,000 to $5,000, and that really depended on how close you were to the ocean, some of the features of the properties, but it's primarily a one bedroom. You could do, probably the 5,000. You could probably also do a two bedroom, but it depends on views and location. You can spend more than 5,000, but I try to keep it what I would say in the reasonable price range. So that's not too bad, and take advantage of the monthly discounts you get in Airbnb. If you own a timeshare, the bad news, I guess, is you don't really have monthly discounts, but I'll show you the pluses on that as well. So the one bedroom for 4 weeks using points, if you're World Mark, you're close to 2,900. And that can be both in Anaheim or in Oceanside, so you can be either in LA or whatever. So you could split it a little bit if you want to stay at both locations. And the 4,800 is more the Hilton down by Carlsbad. And and Marriott was a little bit more like, depending on what you did, it might be 6,000 to 7,000, depending on how you did it. So the other thing I looked at Getaway from Interval, and I looked at Extra Holidays. During the summer, there's not a lot of last minute deals, so it looks to be about $3,000, or maybe as high as $4,000, depending on what your amenity levels. But the other option that I looked at is I looked at hotels with kitchens, and in the case of Hilton, they've got a couple options that you could look at, and I was looking at it looks like for 200,000 Hilton Honors points for 5 nights, or $1 million if you did it for 25 nights. I don't think I would do that, but and then you've got the Bonvoy option, which was a residence inn north of San Diego, in the inland a little bit, but not that far from the coast. And that was 105,000 Bonvoy points for 5 nights. So it's 4 nights plus a free night, and that gives you breakfast plus you have your own kitchen. So here's kind of, because of the timeshares, I probably would do a mixture. Since I don't get the monthly discount, if I'm doing an Airbnb, I'd have to probably do 100% in air there. But if I were going to do it, I'd probably do 10 nights, which is 2 sets of 5 nights free, which would be 400,000 Hilton Honors points or 210,000 Bonvoy points. And residence inns are quite nice. I get free breakfast and then just have to make my dinner. And then I'd probably do 14 days in a timeshare, which would be about the $1,500 price point. And that would be pretty amazing, as far as I'm concerned, of doing 1 month and that leverage those points that you got for staying doing the timeshare owner updates. Anyway, that's what I would do for the options in housing. Okay, I wanted to talk about the other ways to save, and because we're not having to get in an airplane, I would drive my car. Now I'm in the West Coast, so that might not work, and maybe there's equivalent North Carolina, South Carolina one if you're on the East Coast. Drive your car, and that way you can live kind of like home, do regular shopping for food, etc. Costco's are available. Don't need to rent a car. It's so much cheaper that way, even though you might have some upfront expense. But since you're driving for a month, the drive down and drive back, or drive east or west, whatever, not west, I got east, I guess, but because we were pretty much on the coast. So the timeshares have laundry, so you don't have to take a lot of clothes. Same with the Airbnb. Again, you can stop, take 2 days, stop and see a place on the way. If it takes 2 days, find a national park or a set of museums that you want to take in. If it takes 1 day, find an attraction to see or drive directly and start your vacation in Southern California getaway right after check-in. So I thought there was a lot of ways to save to make it basically not that much different than living at home, other than the additional expenses. And again, if it was $1,500 a month for a whole month of holiday, that wouldn't be a bad deal for me as far as I'm concerned. So now I want to talk about why people normally wouldn't do it. Well, first of all, I'm not sure people are where they could do this. And if you happen to have an ability to work remote, why not? Why not experience this? It feels like a bucket list item to me that you should do it once. And again, a lot of people won't do it because they would just consider a hotel on the coast. Food is expensive in restaurants, so it would dramatically do it. In 4 weeks in a hotel would be cramped. Laundry, getting that laundry done, it's just more of a hassle to think about it when you think about hotels. So the Airbnb or timeshare option, I think, is a much better option than thinking about hotels, unless the hotel has a kitchen, which I mentioned. Most people who visit Southern California are there just a week, just sightseeing. But Southern California is a vibrant area and plenty. It's so much to do and see. I don't know how you can do it in a week other than wear yourself out. And again, to me, it's a great place to relax and just watch people. You don't even have to necessarily take advantage of all the different sightseeing. So there you go. Hope you liked it. Don't forget to give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. Hi, this is Cliff, and I'm the Timeshare Traveler. Welcome to my channel. The purpose of my channel is to educate those who love traveling in timeshares. I've been an owner for 15 plus years at timeshare ownership. I have elite ownership with Marriott, Hilton, and Worldmark. I have published over 100 timeshare video reviews, and I've published over 95 timeshare tips. I can be found on Facebook at Timeshare Trav, at Twitter Timeshare Trav, and on the web at www.timesharetraveler.com.